So today we are going to play with saturation as inspired by the great Salman Toor. So when you look at green, there's a few things that I know about this green. I know the hue is green, it's light, and it's highly saturated. So those are the things that we're always looking at when we think about color. What's its hue, what's its color family, what's its value, how light or how dark is it, where it stands on the value level of 1 to 10, but also we look at saturation. How much is it pure and vivid from the tube, and how much has it been mixed? And another word for that is chroma. And this green is pretty pure that we looked at. Over the years, saturation and the chroma level has played a big part in some famous paintings. Often you'll see like a sea of dull colors with some vibrant, or some people like Van Gogh are always kind of turning up their chroma level, their vibrancy. Matisse plays with a lot of saturation. And it's more like the saturation is interrupted by brief periods of desaturation or dull colors or blacks. But then there were painters like Manet who would do fields of desaturated mixed dull colors and then put like a vibrant red like we see in this garden of his house painting. He did it a lot. So there'd be like that bit of red, or maybe like a really bright, bold pink, or a really saturated blue. And yeah, you see it a lot. And he often combined that like saturation with maybe like a higher value. So a light saturated color. Look at all those reds breaking up that kind of world of desaturated greens. And look at that one bit of red on the left rose, like really intense, vivid, pure out of the tube. So, yeah, when we think of saturation in terms of how you use what we know about that to make a more interesting painting, yes, this green is a beautiful green. It's a powerful green, but you're always thinking like, how can my relationships be more powerful? So all these greens are beautiful on their own, and it's a nice palette altogether. But it really isn't until, and these are duller than they look in the image, we put this different chroma, so it's more saturated, more desaturated on the saturated. And this color palette's great, and there's some difference in chroma and value and all of that. But it isn't until we do this, insert a warm, bright, totally saturated color on top. Again, it's bad quality, sorry. That it comes to life. And this one, beautiful palette, but not that interesting, even though there's some value shifts. But what happens when we put a very highly saturated in front of all those desaturated color? That to me is when things get interesting. And that's what Salman Toor does. So he often paints, a world of desaturated color, and then he'll have some, like the green on the man on the left, this highly saturated color. He will do, a sea of desaturated greens with a highly, highly intense, highly saturated pink. And that's kind of, I always think these are like antique mermaid poster colors. I love his palette so much. And if you want to recreate this, you just need to live in most of your palette in a very muted, desaturated light green, and then you put some warm, high value, highly saturated colors in them. Yeah, and it's just really an amazing ability he has to make that work. And you can see where this stems if you read what in Wikipedia says is his favorite painters. Is two of them are Van Dyck, who look at the sea of dull with the bright blue Mary gown. And he also loves Jean-Antoine Watteau, I don't know how you say it, who also does this in very desaturated backgrounds with then like a very saturated pink dress. Or that blue skirt in that desaturated world. It's very effective. And this famous painting, I mean, that's just a sea of desaturated blue with pink. I think he literally, that must be his, I bet that was his key influence. I'm just gonna guess. Also, someone who does this is Tala Madani, who I love. Like, look at all that desaturated gray with the blue, super intense, the yellow banana highly saturated, and the desaturated blue grays. Desaturated reds with the hot pink. Yeah, you can stay in the same family and do this. You could do all pinks and reds with some saturation. It provides such an energy. It feels really modern. I'm sure it's influenced by our technology on some level. Another contemporary painter is Fratino, who also does this Look at all of those desaturated colors in the flowers, and the pencils are highly saturated. The glow in the background in that dark gray. I mean, it's really effective. So tonight we're going to do this. You're going to do a mainly desaturated world, and you're going to pick something that you want it to be your feature, your focus of your painting, and it's going to be highly saturated. Like those blues and that. It's a beautiful painting. Yeah, so I think it'll be really inspiring. See you tonight. Bye.